Herc, England gets drubbed 4-0 at home against Hungary. How confident should U.S. fans be feeling right about now?
Well, a lot more confident than before, and I think it's more how confident should the English fans be feeling. I know what they want to say, the Yanks, say it's football, it's not soccer, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever the case may be, you've got to be feeling a bit uneasy, especially because the more England attacks, the more they are counter-attacked on. And that is one thing that the U.S. men's national team does very well, attack in transition. Now, I would be feeling very uneasy if I am England, because at the grandest of stages, the international stage, when the world is watching, more oftentimes than not, they've not produced.
Herc, we know about managers under pressure. We cover Mexico, so we know about Tata Martino and what's that's like. And we know the impact that can then have on the team. I'm going to ask you the same question here about England, because there's a lot of negativity around this team, and right now specifically the manager Gareth Southgate. How could that impact England at the World Cup?
You know, it's the same old thing with Darren Southgate. I think he's done very well with this England team. You look at the Euros, you look at the World Cup, you look how far they've gone with it, but they've got a lot of talent is the issue. They've got offensive talent, and many more would like it to be a much more offensive team, not so pragmatic. I don't mind Southgate, what he's doing, but the pressure externally may make internally things a lot more difficult. So that pressure for the manager can go be a water-down effect to the players. I don't think they're going to care about that, the outside noise. They've done well with said outside noise. But World Cup, maybe the last World Cup this group has, where they're all in their prime. The last World Cup they did very well. The Euros, I thought they did well enough. This has to be the moment for them.
So you talk about talent, right? We've put the two 11s up against each other, no doubt. England has a better 11 on paper. But I'm interested in the word you picked out right there, pragmatic. For all that talent, there's no real need to fear England, right? Like, England could beat the U.S., but do you have any real fear that they'll maul the U.S.?
Of course I do. Of course.
Really?
Look at
Even
the talent.
but playing the way they play?
It doesn't matter, because we've said the same thing about the U.S. men's national team, about the U.S. team. But you look at the overwhelming amount of talent on the English side, just the star power on the English side, on the ball, offensively, any single player, overwhelming star power. But that's a certain pressure comes with that star power. And that's where I think the U.S. men's national team can play that into their favor, especially against a team that this June has done themselves no favor, no goodwill with their public. So, yeah, that's a bit of good fortune for the U.S. men's national team that England has not been doing well. And England may not have a few more, 2 more fixture dates until then?
Look, the reality about this England team, we have to be honest, it wasn't probably their best team against Hungary, so we can't be too harsh in our analysis there. Talk a little tactics to me. Where's the best way to attack this English side, thinking where the strengths are for the U.S. men's national team?
At the heart of what is the counterattack, if you will, in transition at speed. When England attack you and you have an opportunity to attack them, especially with those center backs, especially with the pace that they lack, you do it through them. You do it through the play of the U.S. men's national team down the wings, whether it's Weah, whether it's Christian Pulisic, which will hurt a lot of English fans if it is Christian Pulisic that ends up hurting you. That's what you do. You attack them at pace. You pick your moments, because you know they can be very, very deadly when they're on the ball. But when they don't have the ball, that's when you go at them.
Okay, so in the past, I don't think I've asked you for a prediction, but let's look ahead. Let's get that crystal ball out and think about November 25th and everything that's going to be riding on that game. Given what you've seen in the last international window, because we got a lot of data, right, on both England and the United States. What's your prediction?
1-1.
Wow.
Is my prediction. And that's not even going out on a limb. That's what I really think will happen. It's just one of these games where I think the more England tries to attack, then the U.S. men's national team is going to show how dangerous they can be in the counter, in transition. And when when England sees that, I think it'll be much more of a chess match, and we're going to get a very pragmatic and almost boring 1-1 affair.
Interesting. You know, these big games, they always seem to come down to finishing. We talk about the U.S. need for a number 9 all the time. England's got their number 9. They got their guy that they know is going to score goals in Harry Kane. Cannot wait. November 25th, U.S. against England at the World Cup.
You didn't tell me. What about you?
Oh, my prediction? We'll save it for the next edition of Futbol Americas.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to to ESPN+.